It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night.
Philadelphia is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Will Reichert has it all teed up. And away we go at the link. Return starts from the goal line. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs. But Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in. But it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy of many. He's elevated his teammates around him. And he's got a skill set that I know a lot of quarterbacks would sure love to have.
And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Short side option here. He's running left. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43.
Not that he needed to, but he'll always try and remind people that he's a threat running it, in addition to slinging it all over the field.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Shotgun snap for Hurts. He's on the move. He's going to keep it this time.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the pistol, Hurts. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And now it's 3rd and short.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Option play, they give it to Barkley. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. This will be a 45-yard look from the left hash. The kick by Hopkins is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Brings in the kick at the 9. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. So we'll see the Vikings offense now for the first time. And they're brought out by the 10th pick of the 2024 draft, a national champion at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
All J.J. has ever done in his career, no matter where he's been, is win. And there is something to that. I know at times it's hard to measure how much of it was him, how much of it the people around him. Most importantly, just ask his teammates over the years. They love playing with him. That is a characteristic that's important, and I don't think talked about enough, Kate. Do your guys in the huddle want to play for you? Do they believe in you? Everywhere J.J. has been, he's lit up that huddle, and success has followed.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on first down, and when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. First carry here for Aaron Jones. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 46. That's more of the catch out left. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Finds a seam down the middle. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. A very productive play from the rookie QB out of Michigan. That gets them a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Working inside the red zone. He rolls to his right. And they score! It's a Minnesota touchdown! The Vikings pull ahead 6-3 in the first. J.J. McCarthy, the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
That one splits the uprights. And the Vikings one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Here's Reichard set to kick this away. Return starts from the goal line. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. First down throwing for Hurts. The pressure's there, and it closes in on him. He's dropped for the sack, and that is what should bring us to the end of this opening quarter. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. That's the end of our first quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. 7-3 is our score. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They have second down behind the sticks. Trying again following the sack. Taking his shot deep down the field it goes. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. They kick the running back in motion. Now Hurts on third and long. Brought in along the sideline, just need an official ruling, and they say catch. Great play. So 3rd and 16, no problem for them as they get the first.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
On first down, Hurts completes this one to Jahan Dotson. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Hurts throwing again. He lobs it up, left sideline, looking for a jump. They connect on the deep shot. And he scores. It's a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles take a second quarter lead. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Now Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles push their lead to 3. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at this Vikings offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Man in motion here. On play action now, McCarthy. That's completed right side. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Things looking totally different after that last play. It's 1st and 10 inside the opposing 30. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Grabbed by Jordan Addison. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Second down carry for Jones. And that hit stops him in his tracks. Now one of the Vikings in some pain out there. So we'll get a stoppage here as he's helped by trainers. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Complete beyond the marker. And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings take a 2nd quarter lead. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play, right? When you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
Reichert on for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings take a 4-point lead. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. He'll begin his return from the 11. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. The Eagles and receiver Devontae Smith returning to the field. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Now Hurts. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. That was Devontae Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
So many times, Kate, when I see these receiver screens, I think punt return. It's like a punt return. On punt return, it's all about those blocks. The returner's got to catch it, and he's got to feel those blockers in front of him. It's no different on a big play like this with the wide receiver screen.
1st and 10 from the 41. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Completed over the middle. We'll have him gain about a handful there. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. The Eagles trailing in the early going. Here's 2nd and 5. This one finds Goddard. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Hurts now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That pass complete to Goddard. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Dotson now in motion right. 1st and 10, here's Hurts. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied, knocked away, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there, and that makes it 2nd and goal.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
Hurts trying again on 2nd down. And look at the footwork there, touchdown! The Eagles get some late points and the lead. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups, and when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes.
Previous play is under review. After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the celebration can resume on that sideline. The touchdown stands. Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles push their lead to 3. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. The Vikings with a football here late in the half. With the time remaining, we'll see if they can get this into field goal range before halftime. First and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Moore's got it! And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Throwing on first, it's McCarthy. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that really well-covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Here's McCarthy to throw. Connects with his back, Aaron Jones. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Back to the air, McCarthy. Short pass brought in. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Minnesota spends its second time out here. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Options are open here. It's second and inches. From the 23. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now the Vikings use their third and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. McCarthy to throw it. He's in trouble and gets brought down again. And consecutive sacks have them staring at a tough fourth down. We're at halftime here in Philadelphia, and the Eagles have soared to a lead at the break. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. He's going to return it from a yard or two deep. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Out come the Vikings for the debut possession of our second half. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. They're out and set, first and 10. They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
These quarterbacks are so good with their clock in their head between the tackles. But you get outside the pocket, and you've got to have that same ability. If you hesitate for a second, the defenses with their speed at this level, they'll find a way to bring you to the ground.
Now a give up the middle to Jones. And he stopped after a nice gain up past the 25. Give him 5 on that play. Now it's going to be third down and 6.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
They come to the line here. This is third and 6. Now it's McCarthy. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Putting a receiver in motion. Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it again. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Zach Vaughn with the tackle.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Running right, this is Jones. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Drive in dire straits, it's 3rd and 9. McCarthy throwing here. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Send everybody deep. I know he wants to wait and stretch the field and use his arm. The trouble is, you wait too long, you end up on your back.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. And he got under this one, but it's going nowhere, almost straight up into the air. And they'll down this one a little shy of the 40. The Eagles and quarterback Jalen Hurts ready to go once more on offense. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And he's brought down for a loss.
On these 1st and 10 calls, defenses are always keyed in that a run might be coming their way. And as soon as the QB turned to give the ball, the entire defense came crashing in to bury them for a loss.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. So now here's 3rd and 5. Hurts looking to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. He gets 6 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Dotson now in motion right. 1st down throwing for Hurts. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he nearly gets to the 25 before going out. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Hurts throwing again. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Bails out of the pocket quick. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. Only one quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the third. It's Eagles football trying to carry this lead across the finish line. All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Barkley trying this up the gut. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or two ago, they just ate up space. Now, they eat up running backs.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Toss play to Barkley. And he got what he could there, only to the 14. They'll get that yard back, but no more. It's 3rd and 10.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case, a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles make it a 9-point advantage. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles make it a 10-point ball game. It's all set for the kickoff. Starting at the 10. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. The Vikings now set to take the field. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They've got 1st down from the 31. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Into the hands of Jefferson, complete. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
2nd and 3 now. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. Then brings up 3rd down.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Trying to throw here out of the gun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
He connects downfield on 4. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Forget that it was 4th down, Brock. That is an impressive 22-yard pickup, and it gets them the first.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, to sit on the bench, to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Motion man sent left. From the 35 on 2nd down. He'll get this to Jefferson. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. 1st and 10, here's McCarthy. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB can run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there's none to be had. No escape route available this time.
Big gain downfield. And that's a Minnesota touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And now for the point after, and crucially to bring things within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Return starts from the goal line. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. The Eagles are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. First play of the drive, and he takes an option left. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Eagles holding on to a field goal lead. They're set up at the 35 now. First down, a run with Barkley. And he's taken down after a short rush at about the 36. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's another carry for Barkley. And he cannot shake the tackler along the line of scrimmage. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. And the Vikings add an extra defensive back for this 3rd down. Running back sent in motion. Here he is to throw. Complete beyond the... He's finally caught, and he lost the football. Oh, no, it's out. It's a gain of 22. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
I think that's one of those cases, Kate, where this defense wished that ball was round. You know, it's not, and it bounces in funny ways, and unfortunately for the defense there, it bounces the wrong way right out of bounds.
Now hang on, they want to take another look at this play, and a very important call coming up late in this game. All right, so we all know what we're looking for here, Brock. Where did an elbow, maybe a knee, something touch down? And as it does, is the ball loose at that point?
Yeah, throw in forearm, wrist, shin. There's no question the offensive guy's screaming something hit the ground while the defense is hoping it didn't.
Now the Vikings use their 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the 1st. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
2nd down. Probably going to see him kneel it again here. Gonna go with Barkley on the counter. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Give him 3 that time. That's gonna bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Now on 4th down, on comes Braden Mann to boot this away for the Birds. Oh, he nearly coffin cornered that one, just a little too far, and it's out of the side of the end zone for a touchback. So it's an Eagles win here in this one. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end.